I'm in Diocletian's palace in Split. He had this built in a 10-year period between 295 and 305, and here we are in what they call the peristyle. It's the crossroads between the only two respectable streets in town, this one and this one, the two main crossing streets. And these were respectable if you weren't a prostitute or a ne'er-do-well, some sort of villain. You might hide out in one of the other streets. But if you wanted to be a respectable person parading around town, you would be seen in one of these two streets. Now, over here we have an octagonal building. That looks a bit like a Roman mausoleum, I imagine you're thinking, and you'd be right. Except it isn't now. This was Diocletian's mausoleum, which he started when he was still alive. It's always best to be prepared if you expect to die. But you'll notice that it's attached to this massive bell tower with this colonnade added around it. It's now a Christian church. Diocletian wasn't popular with Christians. His timing was bad. You see, the thing is that Constantine the Great would come to power, in York, by the way, another first for Britain, and he would legalize Christianity in 313. Just a few years later. So you can imagine that the last emperor who was really persecuting Christians was probably not going to be well remembered by the Christians of the day. And so what did they do? They didn't just turn his mausoleum into a church. They ripped out his bones and threw them away because he wasn't saintly. And they put some saints' bones in there instead because they're much more holy and good. Bad timing to Diocletian, although may I congratulate you, Diocletian, on being the only emperor to retire. Yes, he actually retired. You see, the traditional way you ended your reign as an emperor was to be stabbed, and he was well aware of this, and he retired instead and supposedly became a cabbage farmer, if you can believe that.
Split is a city on the Adriatic coast in modern-day Croatia, but in the days of the Roman emperors, the region was known as Illyricum. I started my tour at the East, or Golden Gate, next to which there is this huge and rather intimidating statue of Bishop Gregorius of Nin. Can you tell which part of the Ninsky's anatomy is considered lucky? The first thing that impressed me was this arch. It wasn't actually the archy bit of it, it was this horizontal lintel. But look, it's made up of lots of stones that are just held in place by the way they've been shaped.
Let's get that from the other side. It's much easier to see on the back side.
The masons did an amazing job if this has stayed up for 1700 years. The site was abandoned for a bit after the Roman era, but since the 7th century it's been in continual occupation, and so the inside is now a maze of narrow streets of shops and houses. Some say it is the least incomplete Roman palace in the world. Hey, my hotel's got a balcony and the view's brilliant! Wow, so's mine and... oh. The sign says this is 15th century, but I think there's been a lot of work done since then. But I do like the way it's decorated with pink knickers. People on the 3rd story of this building might not be too thrilled by the way that the windows have been incorporated into the ancient architecture. But still, it's good to recycle. Right, now I think it's time we climbed this tower. Just looking at that flag, I wonder if it's windy at the top.
So Josip, does it ever get windy here? No. It's almost always sunny and warm and not windy ever. Okay, good. So here we have the bell tower, and in the bell tower you have bells at the bottom, and then a massive tower with no bells in it.
There were also these terrified Finnish girls. I think they turned back pretty soon after this. And I have some sympathy, because there's an awful lot of void here. You look over these little iron railings, and there's an awful lot of air between you and, well, death. And I'm having a bit of a turn here. It's back. Oh, look away. Keep climbing. And I'm up. And, well, this is the top, and... oh, by crikey, the wind! Looking east, it's pretty clear where the palace ended, just in front of those trees there. And now looking north, you can see the Temple of Jupiter there, and the Iron Gate. And over that way are the sulphurous springs. I'll tell you more about those another time. Right, now we're looking west out to sea. And back in Diocletian's day, you could sail right up to the front gate, also known as the Brass Gate for some reason. That's what they call the vestibule. I'll be telling you more about that later. Little way across now, you can see quite clearly the wall of Diocletian's personal apartments. They say an awful lot of rubbish about those. And now we're looking south towards the Silver Gate and, well, more of modern Split. This is one laid back bird. You just don't care, do you? You just don't care. And then we leave by some of the world's narrowest stairs.